afternoon. This is your man who did it this time, coming at you with another episode, another installment to the classic series Reality Clips. And the title of this piece will be called Appreciating the Calm and Not Glorifying the Storm. Appreciating the calm and not glorifying the storm. First and foremost, I just want to let everyone know I appreciate your patience with the ramping up of all of these state tests here in Pennsylvania and the ripping and running in my personal schedule. I haven't been able to upload. I wish I had the grit that some of you guys have, man, where you're able to work your regular 9 to 5 or whatever it is that you do career-wise, as well as being on your game in regards to these uploads of current events and sports topics. I'm still aware, I'm still paying attention, and I would like to participate or be on some of y'all panels, man, over the weekend, sports related or whatever the case may be. But bear with me. And the reason why I chose this title of Appreciating the Calm and Not Glorifying the Storm is because of obviously the current climate that we're in. And anyone who is into sightseeing or going on vacation, you guys are clearly aware that when you hit those tropical destinations, or you're somewhere where there are storms, or you're at risk of hurricanes, even tornadoes to a certain degree, sometimes we take for granted, especially here in Appalachia, you know what I mean? Like over here, like in the Pittsburgh area, we don't really get hit all the time with some of those other crazy storms of you boys down in the South, some of you West Coast cats, and definitely not you folks on the East Coast, like with all of your hurricane weather. We take it for granted, man. Seeing the calmness of the trees, sure, they change colors during the fall months, and it gets brutally cold up here, man. I always call it cliffhanger style with Stallone. But we take it for granted, man. We don't have dry heat. We do have humidity in the mid-summer months. I love the heat, but I'm not really a fan of humidity all the time. But once again, that's me being spoiled, being from here. I've been other places. I've lived other places. Nothing quite like PA when it comes to the western side. It's like the farm. There's days it looks like the South. We're right next to the Midwest when it comes to eastern parts of Ohio. So there are times where we just take for granted the calmness. If you go to a lake or somewhere like that on a campsite, it's not that gruesome when it comes to the warnings. Yes, we get tornado warnings, we get hurricane warnings, we get all of the same warnings, but we take it for granted, man. We overlook it. And sometimes when I'm on vacation, like when we went to Virginia last year, I really did appreciate when the waves let down and you could just stare off into the beach view or the ocean. You could stare up at the clouds. Sometimes the quietness, you might hear some birds, some seagulls here and there, but it's calm. That's your time to think. You're deep in thought. You have a time of meditation. Some of us brothers who like to pray, you're close with the Most High all day long. But when you go to a different change of scenery, ain't nothing like it, man. Especially when it's calm. Like when you buy that body of water. If you're out in nature, it's calm. But then when the hurricanes come, you see how much coverage it gets. And rightfully so, when you look at the damage that some of these hurricanes have caused in years past. I understand why hurricanes and tornadoes get so much coverage, because of the damage that they do. Sometimes it's at the last minute, i.e. Hurricane Katrina. Our people are so hard-hit. Though I can't judge those people in Miami and New Orleans because, I have family down there. But more importantly, if that's where you was from, you can't always just get up and move, man. How dare a person like myself ever say that? And I ask the Lord for mercy, man, because there have been times where I'm like, man, y'all might just have to get up and move. Well, that's easy for you to say, but you never lived here. These people got it from the mud from day one. But nevertheless, it gets so much coverage. You know, like sometimes they're just looking for the storm to come. You even have certain weathermen and weatherwomen and other media coverage that go into the storm. Bold or foolish, whatever way you want to spin it. And it seems like after the storm is gone and they clean up all the debris and sometimes different pieces of buildings, they're already looking for the next story, the next storm to go into, the next latest thing. And again, I'm a mass communication major, so I understand the hype. I understand the language that needs to be conveyed in those green or blue rooms before it hits the teleprompt. We have to heighten the emotion. There is a vibe or a spirit of sensationalism when it comes to communicating about storms. But with that being said, metaphorically speaking, have we become numb to accepting the calmness within our own life or own lives, pardon me? Sometimes no noise and no news and no confusion or chaos coming your way is a blessing, man. Peaks and valleys is what some of us men and women like to call it, but then there's a calmness, man. Embrace the calmness. And you don't have to download an app or go see a therapist or a counselor per se, or some type of person from the clergy to get confirmation about embracing your own calmness. You know, we always say you're either in a storm or you're about to go in one or you're coming out of one. But there is some time or period, pardon me, where you can embrace the calmness. The waves have calmed down. There's emotion in the ocean, baby. There's no like real threat to something coming in and jacking up your own world, man, your own community. Spiritually speaking, no. But if you're always around people who want to rev up the waves and give you dark clouds and constantly telling you about the rain and the blizzard, you have to pay attention to if they're sensationalizing the drama or if they're really in your corner and they're always trying to let you know that there's a refuge that you can go towards. Now, that myself would be obviously my Lord. But you may have another answer. You may have another way of looking at that. And I just think us as people, you know, with all of the climate that we're experiencing right now, the mass shootings, the elixir, or whatever way you want to call it, these plagues that are on the rise, negativity tablets are being passed out to our children, and who's woke, and you already know what next month is. And it's not the rainbow for Noah, and it's not the pride talking about a pride alliance. You know, you have all of these different distractions to start the clouds, and not everybody's into what the media is promoting. So I just want to leave you all with this. If you're in a calm period right now, or if it seems like your ocean view is just nothing, it's still something, because you have a chance to get in tune with, I would hope, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But if you have another explanation, I'm not here to judge you. Don't look at quietness as a negative. And stop glorifying all these storms. Sometimes we have to just sit back and watch. And then after all of the debris is in the air and all of these people have been knocked over in buildings and all that, if you want to be one of those people of the rescue team, spiritually speaking, you want to pick people up and help them put them back together and help the shelters, so be it. If you're a person like myself where you like to deal with casualties and victims of spiritual storms, and it's a case-by-case thing, so be it. If you don't want to do anything besides pray and ask God for mercy, then so be it. This is your man Whodidit. Who did it this time. And I'm out. Peace.